and so I've learned to kind of assert myself. So I would say don't be afraid to assert yourself.
That's definitely something that I'm learning now, and
Yeah.
I think that that's why someone like Wednesday is someone who kind of forced me out of my shell in that sense. And especially, I don't know if it's, again, I'm pretty short and then pretty young, but then also just being a young woman in the industry, I feel like sometimes people don't take you as seriously
Yeah.
or as open to the conversations before. I've had insane conversations with people in terms of, I just stand my place and I don't know because I'm not this or that, or, I'm just an actor. So I definitely agree with you in terms of, having experiences or having seen it happen to other people where you kind of become a puppet in some sort of sense. But the most beautiful experiences that I've had on a job or the jobs that I'm most proud of have always been the ones where everyone's voice is heard, everyone pitches in, everyone and with your
And you
experience.
could be wrong too. Like that's the thing. It's like
some ideas land and sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
but
and-
it's great if we have the time or we're in the space now to explore as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the whole producing thing, it's exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time because first of all, it's so nice, having, oh, well, Jenna, you have the floor and you have this and, it's just kind of, I feel like almost like a kid in a candy store in a sense, but at the same time, I'm in the phase where I'm still sending the wrong email to like 3 different people.
Yeah.
Like, wait, who do I send these notes to? Or
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do here? So it's definitely finding your footing, but it's a good place to be.
I love the whole editing process.
Oh, I haven't even considered that.
You have to get in there.
So they send you dailies every day and things like
yeah.
that? I've never been sent dailies before.
It's so fun. It is so fun. I'm like, I would love to be an editor. I don't know, but I at least get to.
Can you watch yourself?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
Has it always been that way?
It's always been that way. I think I
Nice.
was such a ham, like growing up when I was little, like I just loved watching myself. Like, and then it's gotten, sometimes I think as I've gotten older, I judge myself a little bit more than I used to. Because when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, I'm on a huge screen and I'm like a little kid and it was like a home movie or something. But I start to judge myself a little bit more, but I can separate weirdly.
Yeah.
But it's not even just about me. I think it's watching, the first cut of the first episode and watching that and thinking, do we need this scene? We can, looking at all the dailies and picking the right lines and I find that really fun.
Kind of helps you take you out of your head. Just because it's a lot more objective in that sense.
Yeah, I'm happy that I do get to produce too, because I think the show is very challenging and all-consuming in its kind of brain power in a weird way, because it's well, not even in a weird way. It's like extreme memorization because we have to be word perfect. We cannot be wrong.
And the dialogue is not natural.
It is not natural, yes. Tony McNamara, our showrunner, he's a genius writer, and he wrote The Favorite as well. Did you ever see The Favorite?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, totally. But he's like, his rhythm is so specific, and the memorization is like, it's a lot. So you do need something to like clear your head. I think having the producing side and getting to watch some dailies and put a different hat on at the end of the day, helps clear it out a little bit.
Well, you thought it was me?
I did.
Well, that shakes a man.
How can we trust each other?
Faith.
Annoying answer.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, for season 2, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm like, what spoilers can you give me?
Oh my God.
None.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah.
We're just kind of I just got a couple of the outlines for the first couple of episodes, so it's still very much coming together and things like that. But we've had a lot of conversations, and I think we've decided things that we definitely want to enhance or dive a little bit deeper in, and
things that you specifically want to kind of bring.
I think we want to lean into the horror aspect of the show a little bit more because it is so lighthearted, and I think a show like this, with vampires and werewolves and superpowers, you don't want to take yourself too seriously. So I think that we're kind of ditching any romantic love interest for Wednesday, which is really great. And then also we have such incredible female leads in the show.
Is Weems coming back?
Oh my God, I would die to work with Gwendolyn Christie for the rest of my life.
I know.
She's a perfect...
What? I was so shocked when that happened. I was like, no, I love her. Well, also, I wasn't sure about her at first.
Yeah, she's a little...
Not her, like the character, I was like, like, I don't know, she could be a baddie, but then she was so good.
Yes. Wednesday's relationship with Weems is
Yeah.
one of my favorite because
Yeah.
they're very, very different women and they're constantly against each other, but simultaneously they both want to watch each other's successes
Mhm.
and support them, which is such a fascinating dynamic. And Gwendolyn, being as talented as she is just really, really a pleasure to work with. So I'm doing everything in my power to throw out
Yeah.
the most insane plots that would possibly bring this woman back from the dead.
Yes.
I am trying.
Bring her back.
Yeah, it would be a shame to go on without her. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely more. I think we're just gonna get a lot more bold or a lot more
Mhm.
dark, which you never really know. But fortunately, I didn't know if it was gonna be for younger audiences or older audiences. But it's kind of been a seamless transition in
Yeah.
terms of different audiences, which
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised by and excited by. And I think we just want to see how far we can take it.
Yeah, for sure. I think well, also like the Addams Family. I mean, it's
Yeah,
an iconic family, and I love Addams Family Values. That's like one of the
that's
best movies.
incredible.
One of the top. Like
Yeah.
that's my favorite iteration. Did you watch them to study
Yeah.
it or?
I had never seen the series before, the one from the
Mhm.
60s.
I don't think
so
I've seen that either.
Yeah, I went back and I watched the Addams Family series, and then I watched the movies 100 times over
Mhm.
from the 90s, and that was just kind of all I really did. I also went back to the original comic strips because I think
I didn't even know they had that.
yeah, the wonderful thing about Christina Ricci is she kind of created Wednesday. You know, Lisa Loring, first iteration, absolutely wonderful, special, and completely different from Christina and much, much younger. But I think a lot of people associate the deadpan nature of Wednesday with just the Addams Family. And Lisa was very, very happy and excited and just very childlike. So it's been interesting to see what has been done. So I think with mine, I just kind of had to try to blend the two as best as I
Yeah.
possibly could. But that's what that was. I just was thinking, okay, what were the most memorable or heartwarming instances from, both of these performances, and then see what I can do.
OMG, you look perfect! Only thing, where are your whiskers?
Ask again and you'll be down to 8 lives.
Yours is not a true story.
Right.
Very, very clearly.
Yeah.
Is there anything in terms of getting yourself ready for that era or that time that you have to do to make sure things are accurate or?
Yeah. I remember starting out and I was like, okay, I'm playing Catherine the Great, so I need to do all this research on her and kind of pull out the books and read a bit. And then Tony was like, you don't need to do that. Like, of course it's fun to read about her. And there are things in our show that we do bring in. She brought female education and science, and she invented the roller coaster, and that is real. Catherine the Great invented
That's
the roller
an
coaster.
incredible invention.
Yeah, so I was like, that's all I need to know about this woman. I'm like, she sounds amazing. That's very fun. So I'm like, that's a good fact. But I kind of threw out the history books a little bit. I think, she was reduced to this horse rumor that we all know that she, they say she had sex with a horse, and that's kind of what she's been reduced to, which I think it's like the first form of like slut shaming in a way, because she was very, very sexually open and had a lot of lovers and loved sex. And so, that's what society likes to do to women, is put them
course.
down, and they reduced her to this rumor. So I think with our show, we wanted to show the things that she did do for the country, and her period was the Enlightenment period, and she brought such amazing things. So those things are true in there, but I had to pave my own way and create our own version of Catherine. She was very progressive and very modern woman, and also is very kind of messy and not always right, like not the strongest woman in the room. I don't know if you feel like this, but when reading scripts, it's like they love describing women as like badass, strong, like, and they're always like coming into a room and like they know everything, and it's like, oh, that's a strong woman. It's like, I don't want to watch that. I'm not like that. Like, I love complicated women, and I want to play evil women, and that messiness is like, that's what I feel like I try to bring that into Catherine, because she's not always right all the time.
Also, when you're watching a project, you want to feel like the characters or representatives that you're seeing of yourself on screen
Yeah.
are relatable or attainable. And sometimes when
Absolutely.
when you're constantly walking and there's cars blowing up in the background and things like that,
Yeah,
it's
like-
cool and it's awesome. It
It's
looks
like-
beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to
Totally.
develop some sort of
Yeah.
admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional and
Yeah.
don't really
Or
give
it's
you
like
enough.
to be a strong woman, you have to be this. To be, you know,
Exactly.
it's like again putting us into a box again. So I think I'm very grateful for Tony's writing of getting to kind of show the different sides.
And for it to be accurate and feel good to you and relatable
totally.
to you.
I mean, I think she has a huge ego. Like she's very egotistical, which is one of like I love playing that side of her. Like
Yeah.
it's so fun.
Calling yourself the Great
Of course.
seems arrogant.
It is if you're not great. If you are, it is just calling things what they are.
Right.
Shh.
You have an Instagram.
I do have an Instagram.
Did it blow up after Wednesday came
Yeah,
out?
it did in a way
Yeah.
that I wasn't not anticipating any of
Yeah.
that at all.
Just like
It's
so
just-
many followers and comments and
Yeah, and it was weird. I've had projects come out where people started to recognize me more, acknowledge me more on the street, and that was manageable and easy. But there was like a very obvious shift in my life, maybe 3 days after the show came out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really. I had
How
never
did
had
you
that
manage
experience
that?
before.
Like, do you like what's your relationship like with that stuff? Because I know like for me, it can get toxic.
Yeah, it
like
gets ugly.
yeah, it does. I feel like it's the comparison culture of like so many images coming at you and you're like just comparing yourself
Yeah,
to
well,
all these
it's
people.
well for you especially because I feel like you were in it right before because you've been acting for so long.
Mhm.
You were in it kind of right. You've seen the gradual shift to
Yeah, I
social
was in
media
it.
not
We didn't even
mattering.
have Instagram when I
Yeah.
was acting. I had like a private Instagram when I was in high school, like just for my friends. I wasn't allowed a Facebook growing up, and that was like the cool thing. And so like
Yeah.
I never knew about the parties, and like they'd have to text me like get a Facebook, like, but I wasn't allowed one. So I had a little private Instagram and like a Snapchat,
Yeah.
which I don't anymore. But yeah, then when I was 18, I got a public Instagram, and that was like a huge thing. And it was also such a dilemma. I'm like, should I get one? Should I not?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
difficult.
Yeah.
I see when I first started acting, it was told to me, by my first agency really that I had to have
Wow.
a public platform and that's what I had to be. And also
Oh,
when I
funny.
did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, Disney 101 or something like that, where you would go and they would give you a notebook and pens and pencils and paper, and they would say, okay, you're going to post 3 times a day. This is how you get the most
Oh my
engagement. This is how
God.
you get people liked. This is how you build followers.
Wow.
Download these apps as well. Engage, promote our show on. So it became a business. Or you
Yeah.
would go into some sort of audition or meeting, and it was, how many followers do you have? Or,
Yeah,
what
I
are
didn't
your
get a part
analytics?
once because I didn't have enough followers.
Yeah, it's
Which I was like, it was so weird. They're like,
so.
you were great, but your numbers. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God.
I was
didn't
that
get
way
it.
a little bit for a
Yeah.
while too.
I was not media trained. I'm still like, still just post whatever.
Yeah,
I
even
want.
after shooting Wednesday, when I was auditioning for certain roles, they would ask me, or they would come to my team, we like her, but we just don't know if she has enough of a platform or enough of a name or enough of, because it's so
I
important.
hate that.
It's really, really ugly. And I think
Yeah.
that social media, what it does to anyone our age is it's such a comparing game, and such an I think it almost influences bandwagon mentality, where it's so easy to follow what a trend may be, or as soon as you see a trend, especially the way the algorithms are set up, it's all you're seeing and all you're feeding on, and it's just not brainwashing in a sense, but just very, very manipulative. And I get really, really nervous I feel like after the show especially, I'm really, really nervous to post or really say anything on there, or even be myself, because I feel
Yeah.
like
It could be misinterpreted or
but yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a whole another world that people don't even prepare you for.
Yeah.
And I naturally, because I tend to be sarcastic or dry, I
Mhm.
feel like it's very easy for me
Yeah.
to find
I
myself
know.
in trouble.
I wish
or
I could
get
be
myself-
funnier on my Instagram like that. I wish I'm like I could say something really funny. I could do, and then I'm like, oh no, but I can't because
Yeah.
people are not gonna like.
Or it just
It's
doesn't
just gonna.
land. Yeah,
it's not gonna land. It's not gonna work.
You're thrown to the dogs. And
Yeah.
I was actually just talking about this because when I first started acting, my mom told me that I had to use my platform for good. Yeah, I had to be, vocal about things that mattered to me or were important in the world and society, whatever. And I had to get good grades. I couldn't have, not all straight A's. But I remember growing up, and when I started creating this platform for myself, I just thought I am gonna be funny, and I am gonna, or share whatever jokes I've had.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be myself, and I'm gonna be vulnerable because I want people to be able to watch movies and also get to know the people behind the camera and feel like they're attainable, or realize that, you know, people should never be put on a pedestal. Like, nobody is more special than another because of what they do. And then the more I guess I've been exposed to the world in a sense, people prey on that and take advantage of that, and they see your vulnerability and twist it in a way that you don't always expect. So it's just like it's so strange. Sorry, I don't mean to do this. I didn't even feel like I was gonna do this, but it is like, it's like such a hard thing to balance, because it's, how do you be honest without jeopardizing your own health and safety, and feeling like you're it's very easy to feel like almost out of control of things, which is why it's so important, I think, for people to get off the phone and, you know, experience. And I've been so grateful and lucky to be with family and friends and things like that who have been with me since I was a fetus, or a child, or 4 or 5, who are real people and know me for who I am. But it's definitely been like it's scary out there.
You just have to protect yourself.
Exactly.
And also just know when to put it away, and know it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like, that's not the real world, you know?
I will say, like, the last couple of years, I've gotten much better about not being on my phone or not reading comments.
Yeah.
Because I know
It's still
that's
hard.
such an ugly cycle that people
know.
go through. But it's definitely like, yeah, I was so nervous to even do this interview, because I was like, oh man, I never do long.
They'll probably
things.
say
What
we
do you-
said something. Who knows?
Yeah, but not
Make
even
fun
that.
of
It's
us.
just what do I talk about for so long, or how do I? Because again, I still have this like really intense urge to be human and honest and just authentic. I another thing about this industry is, you know, you get in front of the camera and people want you to be something else. Like you were saying, it's the puppet thing where it's have more energy, or could you smile a bit more, or could you sell this more, and it just feels so gross, and I don't want to feel gross.
No.
I would rather, you know, people see me cry and do whatever than you know, be something that I'm not, which I don't know if you found that you've got a couple years on me, so I don't know if there's like
No, I mean, I think I hear you. It's so beautiful that you are so open and honest about your feelings, because I think not a lot of people are, and I think it's it's so courageous for you to put that out there and to say that. And I think it also can help so many people as well. It doesn't matter if we're in the public eye or not. We're all like human beings, and it is a feeling. And I think, like you said, like, you getting to surrounding yourself with people that know you, and you know, your family and your friends that you know are going to be truthful and honest with you and love you for you, is really important. I feel like that's something that I've learned. It's like, my friends aren't really in the industry or anything. Like, they're just my friends.
They're just so nice.
Yeah, and like,
It's so
just my
nice.
family, and I think that's what's really been important, and it's, you know, it's a real saving grace for me, because they're my unit, and I have them, and they know the real me, you know, which is
definitely.
important to have that. And I think a little, like, it's not even mystery, but it's like keeping your, like, something's private and for yourself. It's like to protect that side, you know, of you.
Yeah, that's definitely what a lot of it is just
Yeah.
protecting your own peace and
Yes.
your own. I think it's good to be private in a sense.
Yeah.
That,
You want to share a
you-
bit, but I think there's a part of you that also, it's like important to keep to yourself, that you know,
yeah,
you know,
I've felt more private than ever, I think,
Yeah.
recently, which is
and you
been
feel
really,
you
really
like
strange.
that.
I feel so grateful to have the job that we have, because to be consistently passionate about and excited about something every day that I go to work, regardless of the hours, regardless of the time, regardless of you know, the stress that it could bring. It's really such a pleasure, and it's something that I see myself always doing, and that's why it's the social media and having to carry yourself in another light, or how do you even represent yourself in photos and things like that? It's insane. Like, oh yeah, this is
this is me,
Yeah.
all done up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just gonna consistently post photos of myself so that you guys know what I look like. But
yeah.
it's all
Gotta
that.
change. I got a new haircut.
Yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
Because you care.
Yeah.
No, but it is funny to kind of coming to the realization that something like that is completely worth it for the opportunity to do what we do and to even be consistently working.
Yeah, and I think,
Yeah.
like you said, to use it as a space that you can highlight things that you care about and also show a little bit of your personality too, because I think, like, before social media, I don't know, before that, it's like you didn't really have a platform for yourself. I guess that's the
Yeah.
good side of it, that you can kind of speak,
definitely.
to what you believe in, and
Or people
that's a
across the
good
world
side.
can communicate. And
Totally.
what I will say about my generation, because I think it's very easy for us to be talked about as the screens,
Yeah.
lazy, unmotivated, whatever the typical
Yeah,
things that people are going to say.
TikTokers.
We are also having conversations that haven't always been accessible to anybody, and I feel like there's a lot of it's hard. I mean, generalizations and assumptions are dangerous, and we should stay away from those. So I can't speak about it in a grand
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
but I do feel that we have opened a lot of space online for communities and people being able to resonate with people and maybe sometimes make people feel less alone and knowing that there's someone on the other side of the world that feels
feeling
the
the
same
exact
way.
yeah.
Or we're able to amplify and support other people's voices that maybe wouldn't be getting as much recognition or support on a global sense, which I think has been really, really fascinating to watch. And I just hope that we continue to use that and use our platforms to just kind of uplift one another and make sure that everyone is heard and equal, because it is very easy to get lost in there as well.
Aw.